Due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
To the west of the great continent of Kern lies the island provinces of Perth, home to brave seafarers, exotic pleasures, storms of swirling magical energy, and cults dedicated to the old gods. Upon these white sands came the Eve's Watch, a band of sellswords and brutes seeking their fortune upon the shores of these lands. Let me tell you of this age of legends, for I and I alone am keeper of their saga. This is their chronicle.
You are engaged in a heated battle, a pitched battle with these snake lizard things, the minions of the sorcerer Zaeron. Jeel and Lovak are battling it out in the center of this clearing. Now it's a clearing. It was a less densely foliaged area, but the heat of the battle, the bodies falling, the stamping of boots have stamped down much of the tall plants in the area. And now it's something of a clearing, albeit it's littered with the bodies of your enemies. But the remaining snake things have closed the circle and are now moving slowly, shrinking the circle towards the party.
Would you like to enter initiative again?
Yes.
When we last left, GM had just finished his turn, so we come to the pair of Moulet and Tuco.
Are they still at range thus far?
Yeah, they're getting closer and closer, but still at range without any penalties.
I will continue my speaking to them of the error of their ways and continuing to assault us as more and more of your people fall. When will it be enough? Turn, leave. We will not pursue you. 2 Eldritch Blasts to the closest one. So 24 and a 15.
Both hit.
18 points of force damage.
That crackling of energy that you're all too familiar with begins to light around Moulet as he thrusts 2 orbs out. They sail in front of him, crashing into one of the snake things. He stands for a moment as the magical energy courses through his body and then drops to his knees and then forward onto his face, dead.
Tuco pops out from behind a large plant, releases a bow. That's a 15 and a 16. Did either of those hit?
Both hit.
Yeah, I just have one need to. Okay, so that's for 4d6 damage. 13 points of damage. And then attempts to hide again with the awesome 8.
Step out from behind that large leafy plant, fire your arrow into the chest of one, and it falls with a gurgle. You stumble as you dip behind a plant. One of those snake things looks directly at you. Next.
Next in the order is the Sevens, Lovak, and Shynn.
We were going to remind Shynn, was it Ku or Jeel that made
Jeel.
What did he say last session?
We need to smoke now, as much as I hate to say it.
Well, first you're getting topped off. Healing spell at 3rd level. 12 points of healing. And then I will run out towards whatever side is farthest from where we are on the battle. You get my drift?
I don't.
They've pinchered us off into a circle.
Yes.
We've got to be offset because we were set in a triangle formation. So I'm going to whichever side is farthest away from Jeel.
Okay.
On the circle.
That'd be towards us then.
And that's where I'm going to lay down the 3 unglass bound packs in one pile, step back 20 feet, 10 feet, and wait. End of turn.
I'm having a grand time. Since the mood strikes me, I'm going to cast my Hunter's Mark, pick a target, and then start hacking away. Hunter's Mark gives me advantage on my rolls.
You only get 2 attacks this time, though.
I know, but with advantage I roll 4 dice.
Correct. Thank you.
So that's going to be an 18 and a 24.
Both hit. Your swords are saving today.
Shh. And that's 13. That's 19 points of damage.
The tips of both your swords find their mark, and your opponent thrust them deep into his chest and out his back, and yanked him free viciously. Thing spouts a gallon of black blood and drops.
Is that done? Then a pair of twos is Ku and Jeel.
Jeel's gonna continue his reckless attack, and he's gonna say, "Where's the motherfucking smoke? Here now!" Be a 24
That'll hit.
for 11 points of damage. And the second attack, AC 20 for 7.
Does that take one down?
Your maul finds its mark, not once, but twice, shattering bones and rupturing flesh. Thing falls in a crumpled heap.
I'll use my bonus attack
Should
for
get,
another one.
I'm pretty sure you get advantage on that too, because it's when you use reckless attack. I'm pretty sure it's all attacks.
AC 23 for 13 more.
In your blood rage, you move to your next opponent. Swinging your maul in a wide arc, you take its head from its shoulders, but not entirely. It sags to one side, drooping grotesquely as the thing is knocked from in front of you and off to one side, landing neatly in a heap with other bodies.
So Ku will use a dagger attack against the nearest injured one. That'll be a 25 for 9 points of damage. Then he'll use his last flurry of a key point on flurry of blows on a new target. I have a 16 and a 23,
Both will hit.
and that'll be for 11 points of damage. And
Okay.
Ku will telepathically look at an unscathed one.
There are none left but the one that you are presently attacking.
And he'll look at that one and go, I'm looking for a new hat. Intimidation. 14.
And the thing, looking around at the bodies strewn all over this clearing, takes its spear, jabs it into the earth, holds its hands up, and takes 2 steps back.
Run.
It runs. Lovak and Jeel, as you look around yourselves, there's one of these snake things fleeing, and the others are dead. Bodies lay all over this clearing. The ground is almost muddy with blood, crushed plants. Somewhere out there in the jungle, you know your companions crouch, but the pincher is closed.
So there's a ring all the way around us, just not within range to engage in combat.
Yes, catch glimpses of these things moving through the forest, tightening their circle.
GM is up.
The thing that saw you, Tuco, makes some sound, guttural hissing sound, and another one of these snake things appear. Cock back and throw 2 spears. One spear misses you by inches, sticking into a tree, wobbling awkwardly. The other one finds its mark. Take 8 points of damage.
Don't forget your reaction.
Yeah, I use my uncanny dodge reaction to half that.
Shynn, with curved sword drawn, one rushes you. Aiming for your head, takes a swipe at you with its sword. You pivot and it catches you in the shoulder. Takes 6 points of damage. Moulet, 2 spears, one over each shoulder, fly past you. Lovak, Jeel, and Ku, there's nobody left here to attack you, but you can see them moving.
I'm going to yell
through
over
the
to
jungle.
Jeel. Now that I've wetted my swords, let's go for some real fun.
Okay.
GM is done.
And he's going to start moving back toward the bridge.
After GM comes Moulet and Tuco.
All right, so we have some foolhardy snakes still closing with us.
Yes.
Tuco, they never learn. Why don't they learn?
They're not as bright as us.
Another Eldritch Blast, the closest one. That's a dirty 20 and a 16.
Both will hit.
Hold on, my math brain just broke. 18 points of force damage.
You send out these eldritch blasts and strike your opponent, both landing squarely in the face. There is a sizzle and an unearthly shriek. The thing stands for a moment looking at you, eyes burnt free from its sockets, with green and red and purple wisps of eldritch energy coming from its head, falls backwards into the underbrush, rigid as a board.
Continue to come on. This will be all of your fates. I'll gesture at this corpse-strewn battlefield.
What are the chances that Tuco saw Shynn drop a packet behind us?
Fairly low. What's your passive perception?
10.
10? Definitely not.
passive wouldn't even work for this because there's an active battle going on.
That is true.
Like he could roll a perception check, but he'd probably have to get something high.
Just a curiosity. Not important. I'm sure I'll get smoky soon. Tuco releases an arrow at one of the two fine fellas who just threw spears at him. 19. Just a regular d6 because they both are looking right at me for 4 points of damage.
Your arrow finds its mark, but just barely, whizzing by the creature, nicking it in the side.
Now we're on to the fine pair of Lovak and Shynn.
Which direction we going in?
He's going to start walking briskly the direction that they originally came from, back towards the bridge.
I will add a second smoke package to that pile and then press the digitation, fire up both of them.
So you're going to run back?
No, 10 feet away.
I thought you would run back.
Oh, that's right. I had gone. Okay, I'll go back to add another one. And then I'll press the digitate it and then move 25 feet towards Lovak. Starting to follow Lovak.
So I'm clear. Does that put the smoke between our two groups?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
It
it
was
takes a
close
little
to
while to
directly
smoke up.
behind us.
But we'll be closer to it when it first starts. Okay.
The packets of herbs and other things that Shynn collected and dried ignite. Not a wisp like with those little glass baubles he fills, but with a great puff. And very soon the area begins to fill with smoke, a thick, sooty, vile smoke that slowly begins to fill the area.
Lovak?
I'm still moving forward. I've called out. We're having fun. Let's head this direction
Two of those things bar your passage, swords drawn.
for the moment. That's a 17 and a 23 with my hunter's mark. 13 points damage.
There is a moment where there is a very brief fencing match. These aren't competent swordsmen by any stretch, and soon you relieve one of his hand at its wrist and then take its head from its shoulders.
I'm going to look to the other one. Run.
It-
Intimidation. That's a nat 20. So that's a 26.
The thing places its sword on the ground and runs.
Attack of opportunity. I miss. Damn. It rolled onto the 20, then brought back to the 2.
Ku and Jeel are up.
So smoke's going around us. I seen Lovak walk forward. These three are kind of behind us.
Yes.
Jeel's conflicted now because Jeel had it playing and it just went to shit. I am going to reach down, grab Ku, put him up on my shoulders, and because this is what I originally was going to do, I'm going to make my way back to the 3 at a movement of 40.
Myself and Tuco and Moulet are standing almost next to each other, but Shynn has traveled 25 feet towards you.
Correct. So we're the furthest currently. Yeah, Shynn is kind of between our two groups right now.
So while Ku's up there, Ku will sheath his dagger, take out his bow, and look to make a shot.
Who run Barter Town? Say it.
Who runs Barter Town? I run Barter Town. Do I see any?
The circle's closing on Tuco and Moulet.
Okay, so are they clearly visible, or am I at disadvantage?
They're starting to become clearly visible now because
He's got elevation.
there's that, and they're starting to move closer to Tuco and Moulet.
No advantage or disadvantage. That's a 13.
That'll miss.
That is my one attack.
Moulet and Tuco, as the circle closes in on you, this lumbering form appears through the smoke. Cutting through the smoke, you see the massive frame of Jeel. His long strides carry him closer to you. Astride his shoulders is Ku, with his bow drawn, firing into the jungle.
GM.
At the sight of Jeel bursting through the clouds of smoke, the creatures closing in on you begin to take steps backwards, moving away, their resolve weakening. They sheath their weapons and begin to retreat.
Hello, fellow D&Ders. My name is Jerome.
I'm Jennifer. I'm Jody.
And together with our friends Kara, Timothy, and Jared, we are the cast of the D20 to Curtain podcast, where Oklahoma theater geeks and their friends hit record and explore our new addiction to Dungeons & Dragons.
We think D&D is more than just a game. It helps us tap into the enduring power of storytelling.
We combine live gameplay with behind-the-curtain episodes to share our experiences, insights, habits, discoveries, and passion for D&D with anyone who will listen.
We hope D20 to Curtain will make you laugh, cry, maybe even make your experience at your table even more satisfying. Check us out anywhere you listen to podcasts or visit us at d20tocurtain.com or at D20tocurtain on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
We look forward to having you. All we ask is that you have fun, be kind, and play the role.
Then it is the pair of Moulet and Tuco.
I believe it is time to go.
Time to go? Okay. Where are we going?
So I will move 30 feet towards Shynn, so that should put me just a little past him, or right near him, probably. So moving towards Lovak at this point. But, as a parting gift, once I move my 30, 2 more Eldritch Blasts, because there's still some snake people out here in the clearing. That is a 16 and a 16.
Both will hit.
Oh, that is an 8 and an 8. So 16 plus 6, 22 points of force damage.
Both your Eldritch Blasts find their mark on the back of a fleeing snake thing, striking him with a tremendous amount of force. His arms and legs splay out, and it lands dead on the jungle floor.
That's it for me.
Tuco, seeing Moulet head in that direction, decides to follow, but he will shoot and then follow. 11 with the half shoulder turn shot. And then beating feet to land next to Moulet and a little bit past Shynn. And that is Tuco's turn, so next Lovak and Shynn.
I'm just following you at this point, so.
No, you're way over by us, Shynn.
Yes,
Yeah,
I know,
you're with
but
them.
I'm following
Oh,
you.
you can, okay.
Lovak goes into a homily and starts preaching as he's charging through the woods, and hoping things come out in front of him. Step from the dark, bask in the light. You will be relieved of your turmoils. You will be rid of your transgressions. I will send your soul for redemption. And he's going to keep this up as he's going forward. And anything that gets remotely close to him, he's attacking.
Like Samuel L. Jackson style in Pulp Fiction.
Yes.
Right before he shoots the guy with the Royale with cheese.
Is anything coming near me?
No,
Okay.
they're beating feet.
I am so tempted to give chase, but I do know I have a group somewheres behind me I'm hoping will follow.
Shynn will dash over to try and catch up with Lovak until Shynn gets close enough to hear the preaching going on.
Oh, you don't have to get close to hear the preacher. No, you've done this a bunch of times.
You're doing
It's not
this
quiet.
again. And I forgot the wax this time. I start humming to try and drown some of it out. End of turn.
Next is Ku and Jeel.
Jeel, as you burst through that cloud of smoke, thinking to yourself, this is badass. Tuco and Moulet start to move back towards the way you came.
What the fuck?
Keep following Lovak.
And I'm going to turn around and follow Lovak.
He's going forward.
I went the opposite. I went back toward them originally because that's what I was doing.
I have no idea which way's which.
Yeah.
It's the smoke.
Yeah.
It confuses you.
So you turn around and go back through the smoke. It's easy to track Lovak. He's not being quiet.
He's singing again and it scares me.
Ku will add to the chorus, yelling how we all need new snakeskin boots. Intimidate.
There's nobody there to intimidate.
What, they can't hear me yelling?
They can hear you yelling. Go ahead, roll it.
It was a 17.
Okay, that is good.
Thank you.
It's a good.
You can't see if there's any effect, but that's a great roll.
Next up is GM.
You're effectively out of initiative.
Keep moving up on Lovak. Get close, and I will continue to. For those I know they're all fleeing, but for those who think they might gather up their courage for a second stand, for those that can't understand my companion here, I will share with them, since they can all understand me, that their redemption is here. And if they stand in our way, they will be cut down.
I have an interpreter. That's cool.
Now that you're back together,
I'm going to turn to the rest of the group wild-eyed. We need to get to the bridge before the rest of them do.
Okay,
Let's
double time
move.
it.
So I'm going to go into a dash and start going back to the bridge. If I catch up to anything, or them.
and the rest of you,
I'm just going to ride Jeel.
I was going to ask, are you staying or are you going?
I'm staying.
Yeah, follow Lovak.
Tuco gives chase.
I will give chase to Lovak, slowly falling behind.
If any come within distance, Ku will yell at them to go to the ape city. The leader has been defeated. Persuasion instead of intimidation.
I will translate.
They know common.
Just making sure.
For the few that missed that class.
That's right. There might be a few that spell's still good for like 15 minutes, so I might as well make use of it.
Lovak, please refresh my memory. What is your total movement per round at a dash?
60.
Oh, okay, so I can keep up. No problem.
You and I are like the two slowest.
I'm at 35.
It's you and me.
Oh, it's at
30.
Good.
But I'm not going to pass you.
You plunge into the jungle in a full run, making your way back towards the bridge that spans that chasm to the keep. As you do so, you begin to see a formation of these things also heading towards the keep, the remnants of the force that was sent to eliminate you. Many are limping, clutching wounds. There's still some up front that, while not looking fresh, are unscathed. They look behind you, one of them in the end hisses something. You think it's Mule, you think it's probably invoking the pity of a deity, and they begin to double time it.
Yeah, well, we're already double time yet, so.
Let me know if I catch up to any of them.
Actually, if we're are we at a full run?
Yeah.
Because that'd be 4 times our move.
I don't think there is a full run in 5e.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
not,
It's
yeah.
just dash or double dash in Tuco's case.
If you wanted.
They will probably make it to the bridge before you, but not long before you. They don't have much of a head start. And it didn't seem like they were running until they looked back and saw you, and then began to run.
Rough guesstimate. Dozen, 2.
Looks like just about a dozen, and at least half of them are clutching wounds or limping about, falling behind the others.
Are any of them setting up a defensive style line, or are they all just booking it over the bridge?
They're running like hell.
Well, hell is following them, so.
I'll scream, step a foot on that bridge and your death is assured!
I will translate.
Intimidation? Oh, that's only a 10.
They do speed it up a bit. They rally and begin to trot at a faster pace. Even those that are limping or wounded, it looks like they're doing their best to beat feet.
While I'm astride Jeel, can I take any pot shots at
You
them?
can take as many pot shots as you want
Cool. As many as I want.
on your turn.
Are you able to do that at a dash?
I'm on top of Jeel.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you
right.
can.
Yeah.
15.
He's,
a bit
he-
bouncy.
he's,
Yeah,
mou-
he's
I
mounted.
imagine I'm at
He's mounted.
disadvantage.
Yeah. He's mounted cavalry.
Yes, he is.
That'll be 6 points of damage. Well, we're out of initiative, so I'm just pew, 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 pew.
You're just enjoying the kill.
Ku draws his bow, knocks an arrow, and shoots one in the back of the skull, sending him sprawling. Lovak leaps over the corpse and continues his run.
Can I interact with object and try to snatch the arrow as I go by?
13.
Oh, I can't. I got a sword in each hand. Never mind.
What'd you say?
13.
13 misses. Another arrow is loosed.
16
16 will hit.
for 8 points.
And another one falls.
Rerolling that natural 1 with lucky. That's a 10.
The chase through the jungle goes on for approximately an hour.
If the chase is going on for that long and I have 10 more arrows, can I just make 10 more rolls?
You can.
15. That's going to hit. I'll just roll. That's a miss. Third is a miss. Fourth is a hit. Sixth is a hit. Seventh is a hit. Eighth is a miss. Ninth is a miss. And 10th is a miss. I have 4 hits. 8 and 5. And 9 and 9. And I am now out of arrows.
Tuco is attempting to grab at these arrows if I can see them, to collect them, as it were, in my run, if it's convenient.
Roll me a d10.
4.
You're able to collect 4 arrows.
The 4 from the 4 that he shot and hit.
Ku manages to take 4 of them down during the run, and then they burst into that clearing, the remaining
8.
8, and move frantically towards the bridge, waving their arms and yelling, "Intruders! Intruders!" They stop at the bridge and help to fortify it, maintaining a line with the 2 guards that are on either side. Spears drawn, they crouch low, waiting for your attack.
Jeel, If there's a log down, pick it up in both arms. Just use it as a.
I was going to use my maul for that.
I'm just charging the line.
You're at a movement speed of 30. He's at a movement speed of
40.
40. He'd be pulling ahead of you.
So yeah, I'll be using my maul like I'm going to bend bars, lift gates.
Jeel easily passes you, Lovak, with those long strides. He's got his maul in one hand and then grasps it with the other, sliding his hands down either end until one of them touches the underside of the head and the other one is closed firmly around the end of the handle. Who is still astride his back, and he charges into the line.
Do we want initiative again
Yes.
at this point?
Ku, what's your number?
18.
Lovak?
16.
Tuco's at 14. Shynn?
6.
Mule?
13.
Jeel?
16.
GM?
14.
High initiatives,
Yeah.
mostly.
First initiative is Ku.
Ku's going to hold action because he's atop a charging Jeel and does not want to get in front of that.
Okay, so move you to 16. That puts Lovak and Jeel both at 16, along with Ku now. 3 of you at the next number.
I'm charging the line. 16 on the die, and if I'm using my strength, that's 19.
Jeel, with Ku astride his shoulders, crashes into the line, taking 4 of these things off their feet as he runs by. You're now behind.
Are there any down the bridge in front?
Not yet. Well, there's the 2 on either side of the bridge where the keep is.
I'm going to hold action. I'm going to wait to see what Lovak does, and then I may go.
I'm gonna come up behind him. He's behind him. He's kind of stepped over these bodies. Right, I'm gonna stand right there, and I'm just start stabbing the ones that are on the ground.
Well, they are prone.
Yeah, they are prone. So that's going to be a 17 and an 18.
Both hit.
So it's going to be 10 on one and 9 on another. Stab them and just leave my swords there for a moment and stare down the rest of them.
You plunge your swords into these 2 prone forms just as they're resting on their elbows. It drives them back down onto the stone bridge. And you see Lovak clutching the hilt of his swords and glaring menacingly at the others that are still standing.
Run away.
Intimidation? Oh, never mind. Now I rolled a 1.
Ku will then use his action. He'll sheath his bow, take out his masterwork dagger, and he will leap off onto one of the prone ones, attempting to plunge the dagger into the person. That'll be a 25.
That'll hit.
I have advantage, so I get sneak. That is 7 points of damage, and Ku will reiterate the snakeskin boots intimidation for 11.
Ku leaps from Jeel's shoulders onto one of the prone bodies, driving his dagger into the body.
Next are both Tuco and GM at 14. Tuco, during the run, has switched his bow for his sword, say rapier, as he now sees a festive group stabbing away at piles of snake men. He thinks he'll join the party, and picking one very in close proximity to Lovak. 8 plus 6 is 14. Does a 14 hit?
14 misses.
Did you roll that? Did you attack one of the ones on the ground or one of the ones standing?
One of the ones on the ground, and I should have advantage.
Yes,
anyway.
yes.
And there's only one left on the ground alive.
30, 20 for 4d6. 19 points of damage. Tuco withdraws his sword, and there are other live combatants here, right?
Yes.
They're just not on the ground. And he will remain
There's 8
here
others.
for the fun. GM.
The 8 standing and alive ones will begin to close in on Tuco, Jeel, Lovak, Ku. Ku, you are struck with a spear in the side,
Melee or ranged?
melee, for 7 points of damage. There's a vicious thrust, and the spear bites deep into your side. Lovak, 2 close in on you, hacking viciously. One of them drops their sword. Both miss. Jeel, One of the lizard things harries you with his spear, jabbing at you menacingly. You swat it away, but as you're swatting it away, one jumps on your back and bites you right in the trapezius. Ow. Take 4 points of damage. Make a saving throw. Constitution.
17.
You can feel the venom course into your body. There's a burning sensation from your traps all the way down to your shoulder. You shake it off. Your shoulder begins to feel stiff. Tuco. One leaps at you and you bat it out of the way towards the edge of the bridge. The other one moves in, feints, and dips back in, and catches you across the chest with the tip of its spear. You take 8 points of damage.
Son of a biscuit.
The ones at the end of the bridge take a few steps forward, launch spears at Lovak, Jeel, and Ku. Tuco, you are hit with a spear. 5 points of damage. Comes down in a wide arc, grazing you across the side, tearing at your clothes.
When we half damage, do we round up or round down? Round up.
And Lovak, you are struck with a spear in the neck as it passes over your shoulder, opening up a slender cut along your neck. You take 3 points of damage. And then an alarm is raised.
Moulet is next.
I will move up, but not within melee range. Offer some ranged fire support here. Targeting somewhat on the outside of the circle that are trying to close in on my companions. 2 Eldritch Blasts towards the one on the outside, we'll say the right side. That is a natural 20 and an 11.
Well, the 20 definitely does it.
12 points of force damage.
Are you aiming for any specific one? A wounded one, the one that's on Jeel's back? Any of the ones harrying the other party members?
Yeah, I mean, the one on the far right side of the bridge, on my side of the bridge.
Okay. And you did how much?
12.
Nat 1. Your Eldritch Blast strikes it in its chest. It waves its arms almost comically as it rocks back on its heels. And then there is a shriek as it plunges into the chasm to the ocean below.
That'll work. That takes care of me.
Shynn is up.
As Shynn catches up to the group, takes a look around. Does anybody look like they need healing right now?
Ku's definitely looking a little messed
Okay.
up.
Then
Tuco
here's
doesn't
what
look great
Shynn is
either.
going to do. How close are you guys to each other?
We're very close.
Not a lot of room on the bridge, so they're a pretty tightly packed unit. It's able to facilitate 4 abreast, but even then, that's not a lot of space.
I'm going to cast Cure Wounds at level 3. I'm going to add a point to distance spell it so that instead of touch, I've got a range of 5 feet.
More than 5 feet, right? Unless you're right up in it.
It's a touch spell, so it gives me a... 30 feet. So 30 feet I can reach you, and a second point to twin it. You both are going to get 1.
Is it D10 or D8 for your heals?
Oh, yeah.
Battlefield medic on the job.
14.
Thank you.
Oh, 23.
Nice. Good rolls.
Yeah, nice rolling.
Thank you.
Tuco and Ku look reinvigorated.
Indeed.
And I will settle at the back of the group just in case they need anything else.
You feel the familiar warmth of Shynn's healing spells, these black, crimson tendrils of energy creeping up your legs and throughout your body, and then dissipating into the air. Your wounds close. You feel reinvigorated, but the battle still rages on.
Next is Jeel.
So I have one on my back and one to the side of me,
Yes. Oh, one on your back and one in front of
one
you.
in front of me. I'm going to reckless attack the one in front of me. 15
15 will hit.
for 6.
Strike him with your maul, knocking him back.
Second attack.
Oh shit, that's right. That's because I have something else in mind. I'm going to do that other thing. I'm just going to fall backwards to try to get the one off my back. I'm trying to pin him between me and the bridge.
Fall back or jump up out
I
of the
jump up
air
and fall back, yes.
land on your shoulder.
Jeel wraps his meaty arms around the legs of the thing, clasping them around his waist, and then leaps, squatting low, much like he did when he vaulted Ku up into the trees. He springs into action, launches himself off the floor of the bridge and then brings himself to a supine position as he crashes down on the hard stone floor of the bridge with the snake thing underneath him.
What kind of damage is that?
That's 300 pounds worth of damage.
You should actually weigh more than that, because take for example, Shaquille O'Neal was 7 foot.
That's
He weighed 300
Right.
pounds.
That's what the book did for me. Yeah.
You would weigh
You would be
a lot
heavy.
more than that.
Probably
Yeah,
closer to 500
Yeah.
because you're
five or
jacked.
550.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like Andre was 7'4", weighed 500 pounds, 520, I think.
But not jacked.
Yeah.
I will change that on my sheet then. So 500 pounds.
You're like Conan on an HGH kind of cocktail. The thing releases all the air in its lungs, then lays motionless underneath you.
Does that get into the bonus action from Great Weapon?
It does not.
I will use the rest of my movement to stand.
Jeel stands up. You can see 2 fangs sticking out of his trap.
Next is Lovak.
Having not removed my swords, I'm going to crouch low, bend the hilts of the swords back, and lift both bodies with my swords. I'll make an athletics check if necessary.
I think that warrants it.
There you go. No, of course not. It's going to be a 1. So I can't lift them, so I guess I'm just wrenching the swords free.
You wrench the swords free with a splatter of blood.
Whatever damage that does. I don't even know if they're alive.
Not anymore.
And that would be both my attacks.
Next is Ku.
How many are left standing?
There's 8 left.
8. Ku will attack the one that is in front of Jeel. That'll be a 17. This is with his dagger for 10 points of damage. This would be like where I think the kidney is, because that's about as high as I can reach.
The thing tenses up as you plunge it in up to the hilt. Takes a step forward, yanking the dagger out. It staggers back a bit, readies itself for an attack with its sword.
At the person in front or the person behind?
At the person that stabbed him. At you, Mr. Ku.
Next is Tuco. Tuco picks a target close to Lovak and will take a stab at him with his rapier. With an 11.
Try the other eye socket, see if it works better for you.
Yeah, maybe, right?
That will miss.
And after his miss, you see him pirouette in a dance-like motion as he uses his bonus action to disengage and move about 15 feet from melee range of this cluster of 8. And he will stand there and await his next action.
Make an attack with your rapier. It is parried clumsily to one side. Clumsily, but still effective. And then you spin, barely missing an attack, create distance, and crouch at the ready.
Next is Moulet.
All right, so are there still 8 on this side of the bridge, or does the 8 include the 4 on the other side of the bridge?
The 8 are all those individuals at the beginning of the bridge.
And then there's 4 more on the far side?
Yes, by the keep entrance. Or the entrance to the keep's courtyard.
Those are the 4 that stepped onto the bridge to throw their spears?
Yes.
I'll offer some more fire support to this side of the bridge then, and I'll work on the other side. Yeah, so I'll pick one that's, everyone's engaged at this point, right, with various things.
Yes.
Are there any that are uninjured on this side of the bridge?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to target him with both Eldritch Blasts. That's an 11 and a 16.
16 will hit.
11 points of force damage.
It's at times like these that I wish one of us knew Thunderwave.
One of us has something similar.
I will hold my position since it still seems relatively safe. So,
Your arcane bolt finds its mark at one of the snake things by Lovak. Effectively caught his attention.
Next is Shynn.
Shynn will go for one of the people who have not been injured yet, and
They're getting fewer and fewer, Shynn.
I know. I need to clear this side before I do what I want to do. So we'll firebolt, and I'll pay to twin it. 17, 21.
Both will hit.
16 on the first one, 21 on the second one.
2 drop as you send your arcane bolts from your finger pistols towards them. How we doing on sorcery points, Shynn?
As a bonus action, I eat one of my second level spells and turn it into sorcery points, because that puts me back up to 4, which is just enough to get a 3rd level spell next round.
Next, we're back at the top. Jeel.
Reckless attack, the one that's closest to me. Natural 20
Nice.
for 16.
Swat one aside. It skids across the floor of the bridge and disappears over the side.
See, that's what you get for turning your back on him and after I stabbed you.
I'll use my bonus action now to swing at another one for 26 for 7 points. And I'll use my second attack for the 26 AC for 14 more points.
The one you just hit?
Yep.
Slam your maul into it, knocking it off balance, and while it is prone, you strike it in the chest. You can feel the bones, cartilage crumple underneath the weight of your swing. And with a great wrenching movement, you yank your maul from the cavity you made in its chest.
Bite this.
After Jeel is Lovak.
Pick some fresh targets and attack with the sword.
There's no fresh targets.
I'll pick 2 targets. That's a nat 20 on a roll and an 18, which makes it a 24. So the first attack is going to be 15 points. The second one's going to be an additional 9 for a total of 24 points.
2 different targets or the same?
Same target.
One of them goes down, its head separated from its shoulders. The next attack will be on another one.
No, that was both attacks.
That was both attacks.
If your first attack killed the guy, which
Well,
it
first
did.
attack. Oh yeah, I would send it. If its head came off, there's no sense hitting the carcass.
Wouldn't be the first time.
It wouldn't be the first time, but
The second attack, you run the creature through, grab it by its armor, and drag it closer to you, yanking the sword out. Once it gets so close, you could give it a kiss.
if I had an attack, I'd be tempted to bite its neck.
Next is Ku.
How many are left standing?
2.
Ku will turn to the 2. Look, then bow. Say the Eve's Watch is giving you this opportunity to run. Intimidate or persuasion.
You could do persuasion.
Rerolling that natural 1 with the lucky ability of the halflings. That's a natural 20.
I liked you better last year. When natural ones stuck.
What's the pluses on your intimidation?
It would be a 24.
Because nat 20s only mean something when you hit something.
Yep, 24.
They begin to step back, creating distance between them and you.
Run or die. Intimidate. 13.
They turn tail and run, but they run away from you towards the keep.
Attack of opportunity.
Yeah, I was going to
I
say,
thought
who do
we-
they pass?
Like, yeah. Because I thought I was behind them.
Yeah, Ku's on the bridge.
Who's on
Yeah,
the bridge?
because Jeel passed them, so Ku and Jeel are both on the bridge.
Yes, so are they.
They were on the keep side of the bridge.
On the keep side.
Oh, they were on the keep side of the
I
bridge?
get it. Yep.
Okay.
This is why it helps to have terrain. We
Yeah,
just don't
yeah,
have
or a little battle
a
map
table
or
to
something.
facilitate.
Yeah, even a little. Even
Next
a little,
year.
Yeah, even a little battle mat, I think, would have been helpful just to show positioning.
Attacks of opportunity allowed.
Next is Tuco.
They don't run by you.
Okay.
They run away from
Tuco rises from his ready to crouch, dances in for a natural 1.
So you have somebody else for that.
one too many pirouettes.
Makes an incredibly clumsy stab and disengages and moves back away. That's Tuco GM.
With the 2 fleeing towards the keep from the bridge, you notice along the embattlements, archers begin to take formation. And then a long line of 26 Perthan warriors comes running out onto the bridge, led by Kusheem. They take formation. Kusheem nods to all of you and says, "We are not the father that these things are." He motions towards the snake things. Now we will see what the Eve's Watch is truly made of. And that's where we'll leave it for this week.
Join us every other week as the Eve's Watch continue their adventures in Perth. Thank you to our patrons. Find us on Patreon to join the executive producers team and support the podcast. Our cast: Bill Robitaille, Louis Aponte, Frank Whedon, Jared Parker, Marcus Holt, Sin Morse, our DM Scott, and me, Nova. Thank you, our listeners, for joining us every other week.